Hey guys, so today's video is going to be on some of my favorite luxury makeup products. So a lot of the times whenever I use luxury brands like Tom Ford, Marc Jacobs, YSL, Givenchy, Lancome, you know, like those luxury brands at Sephora and Ulta, a lot of the times when I try those products, I'm never super blown away, or not that I'm never super blown away. I always feel like it's just the same type of quality as high-end, sometimes even drugstore. It's just that the price tag is so incredibly high, it's ridiculous. And rarely do I ever see a price and think, oh, you know what? That's worth it, that's worth it. A lot of the times I will give away my luxury purchases, like certain makeup brands. So that does happen to me often where I'm just kind of disappointed in a lot of luxury brands or a lot of luxury products. I'm not gonna say the brand, the product. But for today's video, I'm actually gonna be sharing with you some of my favorite luxury products. And a lot of these are newer. I do have some old favorites that I wanna mention, but some of these are brand new. Well, actually it's mostly like the eyeshadow palettes in today's video are newer palettes that I just want to talk about so badly. So I thought, why not put it in like a worth it video? Because that's expensive. And I know it is, I know. Everything I'm going to talk about today is very pricey, but in my opinion, it's worth it. It's truly worth it. And let me know if you want to see this video, but for drugstore products. Like, I know a lot of the times we're not really breaking the bank for drugstore makeup, but not every drugstore item out there is really good. So maybe I can do like some of my favorite drugstore products, or maybe I should do an updated like holy grail drugstore makeup, because I feel like I haven't done that in a really long time. Today we are talking super high end. And there were a few things I wanted to include in this video, but I decided to take them out, A, because it was gonna make this video 1,000 years long, and B, because I actually recently spoke about them in like my Holy Grail cream products video. Like, I wanted to talk about the Charlotte Tilbury cream bronzer, so worth the money. The Giorgio Armani one, so worth the money. The Tom Ford blush, I think is so worth the money, but I didn't want to include it because I mean, I just told you guys about those products. So obviously everything in my Holy Grail cream product video that is luxury is worth it to me, because I love them and I use them all the time. But anyway, this video has a bunch of random makeup products, but I can do a part 2 as well, because I do have some more luxury products I really love. So if you like this video and if you're interested in more that's expensive but that's worth it kind of videos, let me know. Okay, so I'm gonna start off with the eyeshadow palettes because that is really what inspired this video, especially this. I've been very vocal about how Natasha Denona sometimes will blow me away when it comes to eyeshadow palettes, and then other times I'm like, Natasha, I've seen you do better. I've seen you do better. Like, I just recently swatched the Safari palette, and there's something about it that I'm not crazy about. I honestly don't know what it is, but this is gold, and it's even called the gold palette. Anyway, oh my gosh, I have way too much coffee today. This is the Natasha Denona Gold Palette, and even though when you first look at this, you're like, wow, those are so many basic colors, it's like not that serious. No, it is that serious. This palette is absolutely stunning. The textures, the finishes on some of these eyeshadows are beautiful, and these are actually shadows I don't have anywhere else in my collection. This color right here is stunning. I'm actually wearing this entire palette on my, well, not the entire palette is on my eyes, but everything on my eyes comes from this palette. And I'm mainly wearing all of the mattes. This mustard, like this Dijon mustard color is so beautiful, and I actually tried to find like an exact dupe in my collection and I really couldn't. This is absolutely stunning. I have all the mattes in my crease and in my outer corners, and then I have a little bit of this blue on the outer corners, and I have this color like right in the center of my lid. And I don't know if you can tell, but it has like this really intense green reflect. It kind of looks like goldy yellow in some angles, and then when you move around it looks super like foiled and green. It's such a stunning eyeshadow. I absolutely love this palette so much. I actually have this color right here. This one is a little bit more glittery. This is kind of like an eyeshadow topper, I would say, and I have some of this pressed onto my eye, like towards the inner half of my eye. It is so stunning. Like I said, the textures of these eyeshadows are really incredible. I mean, her mattes are her typical standard mattes. Really nice, really easy to blend. But for me, what stands out in this palette are those foiled glittery shades. I truly think this palette is worth it. I know it is very pricey, but I don't have anything in my collection that's quite like this. I think it's very unique, and that is why I love it. I think it's worth it. Speaking of unique, this is another eyeshadow palette I do think is totally worth the money. And I actually have both of these. Okay, so this is the Viseart. I still don't know how to say this brand. Viseart? I feel like so many of you have corrected me and then I forget which one it really is. But this is the Grande Pro Volume 2, and I have the Grande Pro Volume 1, and I used it for a while. I really liked it, but I came to the conclusion that it's too pricey. I don't think it's worth the money. This, however, Volume 2 definitely is. This eyeshadow palette doesn't have any mattes. It just comes with a bunch of different shimmers, glitters, like so many different finishes. Each row going down vertically gives you a different finish. So all of these here, for example, are like really, really glittery. Some of these are more of like a sparkle, more of a sheen. Some are really creamy and foiled, but they are all absolutely stunning, especially when you use them with Fix Plus. Like for example, this row right here with the large glitter particles in it, I would only recommend using it with Fix Plus, but when you do use it that way, it's just, it transforms your eye. And honestly, I cannot get enough of this. I've only used it a few times, but every time I use like my regular eyeshadow palette, like for example, I'll go in with Dream Street, I'll use my mattes, and then I'll get something like this, or something like warm and glittery and put it all over my lid, and it just transforms my entire eye. The finishes are what make this palette so cool. So like Volume 1 was all mattes, and that's great, especially for those of you who love mattes and like wear them every day, but this is so fun and unique. I don't have anything else in my collection that's quite like this either, so that's why I do think this is so worth the money. Volume 1, not so much, but this is really cool, really interesting, and I like it. It's really good. So you guys know my obsession with Pat McGrath recently. I have been really, really into a lot of her things. Some things I will say I'm like, no, too expensive, too expensive. But other things I'm like, yeah, give me that, give me that. And her eyeshadow palettes, like the Mothership palettes, were one of those things where I was like, damn, is that worth it? That's like ridiculous. That's ridiculous how much these things are. And I've purchased a few of them, and I've never really been blown away by any of them until this one came out. This is the Mothership Volume 5 palette. The second I saw Pat McGrath advertise this on her Instagram, I was like, wow, that one actually looks like it is calling my name. This red color right here is absolutely brilliant. It's the most beautiful like foiled red shadow, and I actually think I found a dupe. It's not exactly the same, but it's really close, and I want to do a whole dupe video, but I need to work on more dupes. I only have like 4 at the moment. I really want to do that video soon because I got a dupe for that one. But besides that one, I really, really love these 3 shades as well. And again, I go back to the whole uniqueness of these palettes because at this point, guys, we have seen it all. We honestly have seen it all. We all have 1,000 brown eyeshadows. We have 1,000 gold eyeshadows. Textures are what's important now, like the foiled textures and like the glitters and the toppers, and those are the things that really get me going these days. And these eyeshadows here completely transform any eyeshadow you put underneath. So you can do like a whole look with these and then just add this topper and it'll change the look completely. Then do it again and add this topper and it'll change the look completely. Like, it is insane how versatile this palette is, even though it doesn't really look like it is. If these are colors you would wear a lot, like on a daily basis, I do think it's worth the price because you can get an everyday look and a super, super glam look with this as well. For example, this, I don't know which Mothership this one is, but like this one didn't knock my socks off at all. I have 1,000 eyeshadows that look just like this. Like, yeah, they're very buttery, very smooth, but there's nothing incredibly unique about this one. Mothership 5 though, so worth it. If you're looking at that and you're like, there's no way I would ever spend that much on an eyeshadow palette. The little ones are really good as well. These are brand new. I just recently bought these. They're the Mothership Subversive palettes. Oh no, wait, this one is Mothership Subversive. The pink one is Subversive. Can I speak? And then this blue one is Subliminal. And this is what it looks like on the inside. And with these are a little bit cheaper. They're like in the $50 range, and I know that's crazy because you only get 6 eyeshadows, but they are so incredible. They're very buttery, very smooth, and they just go on like so foiled on the lids, and it's a nice way to try out Pat McGrath without jumping into the giant Mothership palettes, so I'm really into that. Okay, another palette I have to mention, even though it's not an eyeshadow palette, it's a face palette. This is so good. And honestly, when it comes to Hourglass, I rarely come across something that is disappointing. I included Hourglass in today's video because I know a lot of you guys consider Hourglass luxury. I did a poll on Twitter once and the majority of you said Hourglass was luxury. A lot of you said that you just considered it like high-end, like Too Faced or Benefit, brands like that. But I don't know, for me, Hourglass is a little bit more like luxury, so that is why I am including it in today's video. But I only wanted to talk about this specific product because I think everything from Hourglass is worth it. Foundation, worth the money, even though you get so little product. worth the money. Their powder, like their face powder, their new scattered light eyeshadows are to die for. And even though I could have included like 1,000 Hourglass products in this video, I really want to talk about this because this is limited edition, of course, and it's pretty new on the market, but it is completely sold out on Sephora. But I just checked the Hourglass website and it's available on Hourglass. And guys, I think this is so worth it. I know you're looking at this and you're like, $80 for that palette, for those tiny little squares, $80. But oh my, this makes my skin look beautiful. I'm actually wearing all of these powders on my face today. I mixed these two and I kind of use them as like a setting powder for like on top of my foundation. I have this bronzer on. I have something else underneath that I will talk about in a second, but I have this bronzer on. Gorgeous. It gives you the most beautiful golden glow. And then this blush is heavenly, one of the most beautiful blushes I have ever used in my life. And then I have this highlight on. You're seeing it? It's such a soft, angelic highlight. It does it, you know what I mean? Like it does enough, but yet you look like natural. I don't know how they do it. Hourglass, you have the best formulas, I swear. This palette is worth the money in my opinion. Everything just blends so beautifully, and you have like a whole face right here in this palette. So easy to travel with. I say run, don't walk to the Hourglass website, but that's just me. Okay, I do want to mention the Kevyn Auccoin Sculpting Powder in Medium, even though I don't really talk about this that much and I don't really use it that much in my videos because I'm obsessed with my Thrive Cosmetics bronzer. This is such a great product. It's pricey, but so good. The formula of this is really nice. It's so easy to blend and it's so compact and little. I actually always throw this in my travel bag because it really is the perfect contouring powder. Whenever I bronze my skin up and I feel like my skin is looking a little bit too warm or too bronzy and not sculpted enough, I'll just take a little bit of this, pop it in the hollows of my cheeks. I actually did that today. I'm wearing the Hourglass bronzer, and then I have this like in the hollows of my cheeks to really sculpt out my face. I love it. It's so good. I know it's little, so you're like, that's a lot of money for something so little, but I feel like this lasts forever. Totally worth it. Love that. Just had to mention it because I saw it in my drawer and I was like, damn, you're really good. And no, oh, I'm just kidding. I'm wearing another bronzer as well. I have this on top of everything. This is the Givenchy Les Saisons Healthy Glow Bronzer. And this is in the shade number 4, Extreme Saison. I want to mention this bronzer mainly for the formula. I know I haven't spoken about this in a long time. This was in a favorites video like months and months and months ago. But the formula of this is so thin. It's not powdery at all. So if you have like really dry skin, this looks so nice on your skin. I know that seems weird, but sometimes my face will look like I have too much makeup on it in terms of like I have too much powder on, which is why I've been loving cream products so much recently. But this bronzer has such a nice formula. It just glides on the skin. It looks glowy, but not heavy. It just looks like you are naturally like bronzed like that. The formula is really nice, so easy to blend. And I just wanted to mention it because this is actually a Givenchy. Oh my god, my Mr. Brow Groom. Can I mention my Mr. Brow Groom? Even though I love my Nude Sticks brow gel even more than this, I still think this is worth it. Well, maybe not anymore but the Nude Sticks one is connected to a damn eyebrow pencil. Like you can't get this gel unless you buy the whole thing. This is just a gel on its own. I love this Givenchy Mr. Brow Groom. Mine is so disgusting. But this gives me feathery brows. I love it. I do think it's worth the money. It just reminded me of that because this is also Givenchy and I think their bronzers are really good. I've tried other Givenchy products that I haven't really been that impressed with, but I love those. The Tatcha Silk Canvas is something that I used to make fun of so much, and I used to be like, oh my gosh, people are spending so much money on that silk canvas and it's so gross. You put your finger in it and it's probably not even that good, which shame on me because I love Tatcha and I feel like they rarely disappoint me. I was wrong. I was wrong. This is an amazing freaking primer. This makes my makeup look absolutely flawless when I put it on. I feel like it just fills in your skin perfectly. If you have a lot of texture on your skin, this is a godsend. It just smooths your skin out so flawlessly that any kind of foundation you put on top just goes on like a dream. If you have really dry skin like me, I would recommend going in with like a really dewy moisturizer first and then going in with this because this doesn't do much for hydration, but your skin just looks flawless when you use this. So I personally do think it's worth the money. I also think that my makeup does last longer when I use this. I really like it. I thought I was gonna be like, oh my gosh, that's so stupid, but I like it. Okay, let's talk about some base products really quick. I just want to touch on this really fast because you already know how I feel about the Giorgio Armani Power Fabric Foundation. This is a foundation I've talked about for like 2 years now. I love it so much. Whenever I go out, not that it happens very often, but whenever I go out that I'm gonna be out all night at a party or something like that, this is the foundation I always wear because it just lasts through anything, at least on me. It lasts through anything. It looks great in photos and it never looks crusty or heavy, yet it takes me throughout the day. It doesn't get like dewy or it doesn't break down easily. It's truly amazing. I do have to prep a little bit more because it's not the most hydrating foundation, but it's not drying either, which I freaking love. I love this way more. That was a weird love. I love this way more than the Luminous Silk Foundation from Giorgio Armani, as you guys know. But speaking of that, the Luminous Silk Powder Foundation, is this considered a powder foundation? Luminous Silk Compact Dual Use Powder Compact. Okay, so it's not considered, I don't use it as a powder foundation. I use it as a setting powder and I freaking love it. This is one of my creamiest setting powders ever, and I know recently I've been like die hard on the loose setting powders. Like I cannot get enough of loose setting powders these days, but whenever I travel I always take a pressed powder. It's just so much easier to apply, and sometimes I am really lazy and I don't want to open a loose powder and I will always just grab this. If you have dry skin and you put on your foundation and it's nice and dewy and beautiful, but you know that you're about to put on bronzer and all of that and you don't want it to skip or look muddy, so you do want to set your face before going in with all those products, but you don't want that heavy powder look. This feels creamy when you put your finger in the compact, and it almost just sets your face. Obviously it's a powder, but I'm trying to explain it in a way where it's like, it sets my face without doing anything else. Like it doesn't apply too much. It just sets my face perfectly and it gives me a nice smooth look. It's such a great powder for those of you with dry skin. So I just had to mention it again. I know I don't really talk about it that much anymore. I just have so much freaking makeup, guys. So I feel like it's nice for me to do these videos every once in a while to tell you, hey, this is still great. I still use it every once in a while, even though it's not the main focus in my videos anymore. But the Charlotte Tilbury powder is also really good as well. Like good for dry skin and for oily skin, I'm sure. YSL is one of those brands where I'm like, I don't get it. I don't get it. I've never really been crazy about YSL. Their Touche Eclat Blur Primer was really, really nice, but I wasn't like blown away. Like I'm trying to think of some of their products and I feel like I'm never truly blown away by them. There are some lip products I really like that aren't scented with that scent that they love putting in so many of their products. I think that's the main reason why I don't love YSL. It's how heavily scented everything is. But besides that, their formulas just kind of remind me of like standard formulas. I'm never, like I said, I'm never blown away by YSL until I discovered this. This is the YSL Touche Eclat All-in-One Glow, and it is just fresh dewy makeup. It's kind of like a tinted, no, it has more coverage than a tinted moisturizer. It's like a very lightweight, dewy foundation, and I love this. I've tried a few YSL foundations in the past, and they've been okay, but I love this. I'm so surprised at how much I love this. And I don't know what it is about it that makes me love it so much. I'm wearing it on my skin right now. It gives me the most healthy all-in-one glow. It really does. I look glowy, I look healthy, but it gives me enough coverage. My skin looks like skin, like truly looks like skin. Not that I know if you're asking me, but if you're asking me to compare this to the Thrive Cosmetics CC Cream, this has less coverage. Thrive Cosmetics has more, and this is a little bit dewier. This has a little bit more of a skin-like finish. Even though the Thrive one truly is gorgeous, it looks like skin, this looks like skin even more. It just makes my face look so fresh and dewy, and every time I wear it, I'm like, oh my gosh, I love how my skin looks, and it lasts forever. Like it's a dewy foundation that actually lasts throughout the day, which is why I think it is so worth it, because I do have so many dewy fresh foundations that I love, but this just takes me through the day. I don't get greasy. It's just truly beautiful. And I love the coverage on this. Really, really nice. You can build this up, by the way. I've done today I have 2 layers of this foundation on, and I feel like I have really nice coverage. It can do many, many things. Speaking of YSL, another product from them that I absolutely adore. This is the All Hours Concealer. I've tried the foundation and it actually broke me out really badly. This concealer did not, however. Every time I use this concealer, my under eyes just look so flawless. And again, for the entire freaking day. This honestly makes my under eyes look incredible for hours and hours and hours. And I love my Jouer concealer. My Jouer concealer right now is like my top favorite concealer. I feel like that one has a little bit more coverage. That one gives me a more hydrated, like plump look under the eyes. This one just makes my under eyes look really flawless. You know what? Never mind. They're both really, really, really good. This one just looks really, really, really good for a really, really, really long time. So I really like this. I do think this is so worth the money, and I like it more than I liked the foundation. The Pat McGrath lip glosses are some of the best lip glosses I've ever used. I also really love the packaging. I love these caps. They're so gorgeous. This pink one in Pale Fire Nectar is so beautiful. You can't really see the pink shine through all that much, but it does give you a nice little glimmer on the lips. Your lips just look juicy when you wear these. Like, you want juicy, kiss me lips. These lip glosses will give it to you. And even though it has like the shimmer in it, I don't find that it really makes me feel weird. It doesn't disrupt my lipstick underneath. Like, I don't press my lips together and feel the shimmers too much. Like, it has a super nice formula, and there really isn't much I would change about it at all, actually. How does it smell? I forget. Delicious. Smells great. Smells great. There's nothing I would change. I love these freaking lip glosses. That's expensive, but damn, that's good. The Marc Jacobs lip glosses are really good, and I was gonna include them in this video, but then I realized I feel like these are cooler, more innovative, and just so interesting. So I wanted to mention these instead, even though I love the Marc Jacobs lip glosses. There are a lot of things from Marc Jacobs I love, but these are so freaking cool. I've spoken about these a few times on my channel, so I'm not gonna go into too much detail, but these are the Enamored Hydrating Lip Gloss Sticks. So they pretty much combined their lipsticks and their lip glosses together, and they created this super, super, super glossy lipstick. Like, super glossy. I'm wearing Sugar Sugar on my lips right now. This is the one I use constantly, non-stop. Like, this lives in my purse. And even when I have the most chappity chap lips like I do today, this just makes my lips look so juicy and plump, but it gives me so much color, and my lips just look fuller. I love these. I think they are so worth the money. I don't have anything in my collection that is quite like this. So for that reason, I'm like, you guys need these. You guys need these. All the colors are beautiful. I really, really, really recommend them. Like, hardcore, I recommend them. I'm gonna give Pat McGrath another shout out. Again, I'm not gonna dwell on these because I've already spoken about them 1,000 times, but their Permagel Ultra Lip Pencils are the best lip liners I've ever used. I'm currently wearing Done Undone. These are the best lip liners to overdraw your lips because the formula just glides right on. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it kind of just molds to my lip naturally. I swear it's magic. These are like little magic wands that just overdraw my lips so nicely. I suck at lining my lips. Like, I have the weirdest lip lines, and I have very small lips, so I like to overdraw them because I have very small lips, so I always overdraw them. Like, right now they're like super overdrawn. But the Pat McGrath lip liners make it so easy because they just glide on. And a lot of the times when you have a lip liner that is so smooth and glidey and slippy, they just don't last throughout the day. But these manage to stay on forever. I don't know how you do it, Patty, but you do it. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to call you Patty. That is not your name. Okay, I have to give a huge shout out to 2 mascaras because I am someone who's always saying, like, save your money when it comes to mascaras. Get a mascara at the drugstore. The Kiko Extra Sculpt Volume Mascara is like $12 and it is incredible. The L'Oreal Lash Paradise, also incredible, and it's like, what, $10? But I actually look at these and I'm like, I would repurchase you. I mean, I've repurchased this one 1,000 times. Nars actually sent me 2 of these and I already went through one of them and I'm currently working on this guy. But this is the Nars Climax Mascara and this is the Lancome Monsieur Big Mascara. This is my favorite mascara of all time. So again, I don't want to go into detail, but I do think this is worth the money. It gives me volume like I've never had before. It's just, it makes your lashes look so thick. Ugh, I love it. This one, however, I love this because it does give me volume, but it gives me the most wispy looking lashes. Like, they look so feathery and romantic. And I know this is really weird, but a lot of times when I'm wearing like pink eyeshadows or like romantic-y kind of eyeshadows, I will wear this mascara and I feel like I see a difference. It just makes your lashes look so fluttery and feminine and just girly and pretty, and I freaking love this mascara. And as soon as I run out of it, I'm gonna go to Sephora and purchase it again. And I don't always have that reaction to high-end mascaras. Like, there are so many high-end mascaras that I've loved that I just won't repurchase again, you know? But that one is beautiful. Do you guys remember that I was really obsessed with the Kristen Louboutin mascara? That was like $78 or some crazy shiz like that. See, that mascara was brilliant, but I don't think it's worth that much. These are worth the price. Oh my god, I'm done. I was about to grab my next product and I'm done. Oh my gosh. Okay guys, so that completes this video. These were some products that I was recently loving, like these eyeshadow palettes, recent obsessions of mine, but also some stuff I've been loving for a really, really long time. Let me know if you want to see a part 2, and also let me know if you want to see a drugstore version of this some sort. I'm sure you guys will request down below. Let me know what you want to see. But yeah, guys, that completes this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.